opportunities for my 6th year at Southwest Baptist, and first time I've had the opportunity in front of this group. So honored for the invitation, and certainly humbled to be here and excited to talk to you guys. I don't like to talk a lot about our season. We got a lot left, and I tell our guys we don't need people patting us on the back by any stretch. But we are 27-11 right now, 17-8 in our league. I think we're second place in our league, and but we have tough. We go play the Mules tomorrow night, and we'll have the hands full. They put it on us last week. So we'll have a challenge there. We got to Pitt State this weekend, and they're playing as well. I think they won in our league, and Tommy Myers is there, and he's done a great job, and they're going great. And we got Central come back to us next week in the midweek, and we'll have our hands full with those guys. And then we head out to Kearney, Nebraska, which that's like a D1 team going to Hawaii, so that's gonna be a hard trip for us to head all the way out there to West Nebraska. We're certainly very concerned about that trip. We'll play UMSL in midweek in St. Louis, and then we've got Emporia State, who's leading our league, coming in the last weekend, and we'd like to see, if we could stay within 3 games of them, and maybe set up that last weekend, I don't know, see if we can play for something big there. But I just thought I'd tell you, just talk a little bit about our program and kind of what we've done over the 6 years, and kind of what we're trying to do, so you guys kind of know our vision or what we're looking for. And like I said, I took over the program. This is my 6th year there, and when I first went to Southwest Baptist, I kind of knew what we wanted to do. We had 3 big goals right off the bat. We wanted to have a winning season, which is something that hadn't been done there in over a decade. We wanted to play in the postseason tournament, and that's something that wanted to happen 3 times in the history of the program, and again hadn't been done in over a decade. And then we wanted to prove that we could beat everyone on our schedule. We wanted to beat every MIAA team. It had been years since we'd beaten some of the teams in MIAA. I didn't know if we had accomplished any of those 3 goals in my time there. I mean, obviously it's been a long time since we've done a lot of those. And those kind of 3 goals gave us a vision, a direction. We kind of knew what we wanted to get done and how we needed to recruit around that, and that gave us some purpose, I felt like. And we, those 3 things happened real quickly. We did all those 3 things. We did all 3 things in the first 3 years. And 3 years ago, we were really good, and we finished like 29-24. But we came off of that, and I don't know, I kind of feel like it's my fault. That got to the top, we kind of lost, I feel like, some sense of direction and where we wanted to go from there. We knew we wanted to keep winning 20 games. We are proud of that. We're one of only 6 teams in our league that's won 20 games each of the last 6 years, which I think is really, really hard to do. And it's hard to do in the MIAA, and it's hard to do in D2 to win 20 games a year, and we've been able to do that, and so we're proud of that. But we went into last summer, we were coming off 22 and 28 season a year ago, and for myself and probably our coaching staff, we were really frustrated. We didn't feel like we were making a lot of progress. We're looking at, do we want to be mediocre for the next 20 years? What are we really doing here with the program? So I talked to every coach in our league, and there's some really, really good coaches in our league, but I talked to every one of them, and I said, you've seen me coach for 6 years, you've seen our team, what does our team need to do to take the next step? In your opinion, what does Southwest Baptist University have to do to take the next step in baseball? And I asked every coach in our league that question, and I got an answer from every one of them. I got them all written down. And so we went through all of them, and pitching's one. There's a lot of things. Everyone gave me a different one, gave me a different answer. They were all good advice. And I think one big thing that happened for us in the summer is totally unrelated to our program. Is Coastal Carolina won the Division I National Championship, and that was a big thing for us to see a small school to step up on that stage and win that thing in Omaha. And one of my assistants former assistants at Columbia State, now Community College of Tennessee, and he gave me a call, and he said, "Hey, what do you think about Coastal Carolina winning it? And, it's great, and Coach Gilmore and all that stuff." And he said, "Chris, you've got to increase your expectations. Southwest Baptist can win a national championship. You guys can play in a regional, but you guys are just playing to get in the conference tournament. You've got to increase your expectations." And I think he was definitely right with us in the program. The summer was hard. It was hard for us. Our 2 best returning players quit in early July. That was a challenge. I was getting married, and so that's a time-consuming deal. We had planned the wedding at the end of July, because I told my wife now, I was like, we'll be done with recruiting, we'll get married, and in July, so it's going to affect my recruiting, okay? So, we'll go through that. So, those two kids quit in early July, and so now that's two of my best arms. We're back to the drawing board. Guys, I'm on my honeymoon in Mexico. We had 3 kids decommit that had signed scholarships with us when I'm on my honeymoon. So every day we went to the beach, and then the afternoon I sat in the lobby and recruited the whole week on the honeymoon. And I'm trying to call our staff, and we're scrambling, and luckily we had some good relationships. We got back into the States, and we're just trying to hit it hard. And we're in August now, we're in early August. So we had 3 official visits week before school started. And we were fortunate, we had a kid that was supposed to go to San Diego State that just ended up in academic credit short. And so he came here, and he's our starting center fielder, and he's really good, and we're blessed to have him. And the other kid was supposed to go to Nevada and pitch for them, and we got him to come here. And so we had some things that came through for us right at the end. But that's the tightest I've ever cut in recruiting. I mean, it was pretty tough. I mean, we added 3 or 4 guys right before school started. And so then I was worn out all fall. So that's probably good for our players, because I'll tell our staff I'm exhausted. So we kind of changed our fall with how we did everything. And we used to get up and run at 6 a.m. all the time. Now we just get up at 6 a.m. and practice. They like that. The guys said they'd rather practice than run. So we do that a lot. But the first thing we showed them, we got back, we had our first team meeting, and we came up with 3 new goals. So we said, okay, so we're going to be here. We really want to be good at what we do. We want to be better, and we want to make a difference here. We don't want to just play. We don't want to play our schedule. So we came up with 3 goals of what we want to do in years 6 through 10. So this is year 6. So this is where we want to be when we get through with year 10. This is where we want the program to be. And we said for 5 years in a row we want to have a winning season. We've only had 9 winning seasons, but we just clinched it this weekend. We're going to have a winning season here. I guess unless we lose out. If we lose out and we lose the first 2 games in the league tournament, we go 27-27. But we're probably going to have a winning season. So we want to have a winning season 5 years in a row. Okay. We want to win 30 games. We've never done that at SBU. Never won 30 games a season. We want to win 30 games 2 or 3 times, and then we want to play in an NCAA regional. We want to see what that tastes like. We want to feel it, and get to experience that there. And so that's kind of our goal. And the first meeting we watch, if you go to YouTube, you can watch Coastal Carolina win the College World Series. They throw the last strike. It shows the whole celebration, Coach Gilmore's interview, and so we showed them that video of Coastal Carolina winning it. And we said, why not us? Why can't SVU win a national? Coastal Carolina win a national championship out of a small conference and small school. Southwest Baptist can win a national championship. It doesn't matter what anyone else says about us or anyone else thinks about us. It just matters what we do. So we got through the fall. We get into the season. I get a call at practice one day from our SID. He says, well, you guys got picked last in your league. You got picked dead last. So, of course, I'm mad. And, I tell our guys they're mad. And we think they're going to use it as motivation. And that doesn't work. I mean, everyone handles that differently. Went the other way. So finally we had to say, just forget about it. Forget that we got picked last. Every once in a while, we'll use it as a little bit of motivation. If we're playing a team that we know picked us last, we'll say, hey, these guys picked us last. But I think the guys probably didn't like that. We got into the season, and we hit the ball really well. I mean, Johnson Fields are going to pitch hard. I think our hitting gets too much credit. Our pitching probably takes too much heat. We got into the season, we could really hit. We could probably hit with anybody. Our pitching was terrible, and we're not sleeping. Our coaching staff is not sleeping. We go back to the drawing board like 3 different times this spring. What are we? We got to change it. Finally, we go down to Tahlequah about a month ago, and we got into games 2 and 3. After the first thing on Saturday, we're down 7-0. After the first thing we're down 7. I don't remember if we scored in the top first. On Sunday, we got 5 in the first. And we're like, gosh. And so we went back to the drawing board again, and the guys kind of bought in now. I think we've got a plan in place that they're comfortable with. It's worked with us, and our pitching has been lights out. I think we're 112 in a row on the weekend. We got 2 freshmen in our weekend rotation, and they've been really, really good. And so our pitching's done a great job, and they've allowed us to probably elevate and do some things the last couple weekends. But for us, we're not the most talented team. We're not. I don't even know for the most talented team on most weekends if we go out there. But we know we got to out-compete teams. We really got to out-compete them. We got to play harder than them, and we got to be pretty good. But I tell our guys, if someone comes up and watches us play, and I want them to walk away saying, man, that team really cares. I mean, you can tell they care. And man, that team plays hard. And I want the other team to be able to feel how hard we play and how hard we're going to get after them. And I think we've done a pretty decent job of that this year, just out-competing some teams on the weekends. And we played a good schedule. Had a couple good games with Scott's group over there. They do a tremendous job. So it's a lot of great baseball in this area in Southwest Missouri. I grew up in Central Missouri. The weather's definitely better down here. So you play great baseball. And I said we're just blessed to be at SVU. And we've got some big games left, but our guys have a great opportunity. And we're going to see what we can do with them down the stretch here. But we're definitely excited and excited about where we're going forward. Okay. But we, as I said, really appreciate you guys having me be here and speak to the group. It's an honor to be here and great baseball in the area. So appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.